One thing I ask myself every day, if I could be single for the whole year, what would I miss? Would I miss having someone to talk to every night, or afraid of being alone without anyone calling me or texting me? The truth is, being alone it is better than being with people who don't appreciate your presence. I'm 27 years old and I have given myself 120 days to change my life. One of the things I learned about my last relationship was to be truthful to myself, and I accept the consequences and move on with my life. This is 120 days. Watch me change my life. The conversation I had with myself most of the time when there's no one is watching, no audio, no filter, just me and the truth. Would I miss hearing my phone ringing because someone wanted to know how my day was? Would I miss the good morning text, the random calls, the feeling that someone is waiting for me? Or would I simply miss the idea of not being alone? That question has changed the way I see my life, because sometimes we are not afraid of being single. We are afraid of silence. We are afraid that nobody will text us, nobody will call us, nobody will ask if we are okay. And somewhere deep inside, we begin to believe that our value depends on how many people remember us. But what if that's not the truth? What if being alone isn't the problem? What if constantly chasing people who don't appreciate us is the real problem? Not because someone challenged me, not because I wanted attention, but because I got tired of watching my own life passing by while waiting for someone else to make me happy. This journey is about becoming someone I can be proud of, someone who doesn't depend on validation, someone who builds a picture instead of waiting for someone to build it for him. One of the hardest lessons I learned from my last relationship was this: you can't force someone to value your presence. You can't convince someone to love you. You can't keep sacrificing yourself hoping one day they will finally see you're worthy. Love couldn't feel like begging. Respect couldn't be something you earn after suffering. Peace couldn't come after constant pain. I also learned something even harder. I had to be truthful with myself, not just about what they did, but about what I allowed. The moment I ignored the red flag, the time I stayed longer than I could have left, the excuse I made, the boundaries I never protected. Healing began the moment I stopped blaming everybody else and start taking the responsibility for my own choice. That wasn't easy, but it was necessary, because growing begins with honesty. Today, I did not hate my past. I did not regret every memorial. I simply accept it. I accept the consequences, I accept the lessons, and I move forward. There is something beautiful about starting over. Nobody celebrated at first. Nobody see the loneliness morning. Nobody see the tears. Nobody see the night where you question everything. They only see the finished story. But every finished story begins with someone decide not to quit. Some morning I feel unstoppable. Other morning I wonder if anything is changing at all. But discipline isn't about always feeling motivated. It is about continuous anyway. I have realized that loneliness can become one of the greatest teachers. When nobody is around, you discover who you really are. You discover your hobbies, your fear, your dreams, your excuse. You discover whether you are comfortable living with yourself. And that's the powerful things. I have stopped asking who is going to love me, and now I ask, am I becoming someone I could admit? I have stopped asking, when will someone choose me? And now I ask, what am I building while I wait? I have stopped asking, why did they leave? And now I ask, what did that experience taught me? The quality of our living often change when the quality of our question change. This season of my life isn't about finding another relationship. It is about finding myself, building discipline, creating hobbies, reading more, learning more, working harder, taking care of my health, grow spiritual, become financially strong. Building a future that doesn't depend on anyone else's decision. Because one day, the right people wouldn't meet the broken vision of me. They will meet the vision that refused to give up. If you have ever feel forgotten, if you have ever looked at your phone hoping someone would text, if you have ever wondered whether you matter, I want you to remember something. Your volume isn't measured by a message they send. Your volume isn't measured by the followers. Your important isn't measured by who stay. Sometimes God remove people because your future require different company. Sometimes silence is preparing you for the stronger voice. Sometimes loneliness is creating a leader. I have learned to enjoy my own company. I take myself on a walk, I read books, I exercise, I dream, I plan, I pray, I create, and little by little, I'm becoming someone I can truly enjoy being with. That's the freedom. There will always be people who misunderstand you, people who leave, people who forget, people who choose someone else. Don't let that stop you from choosing yourself. Choosing growing, choosing healing, choosing peace. This 120 days journey isn't just about changing my life. It is about changing the way I think, changing the conversation I have with myself. Replace fear with purpose. Replace doubt with action. This 120 days journey isn't just about changing my life. It is about changing the way I think, changing the conversation I have with myself. Replace fear with purpose. Replace doubt with action. Replace excuse with consistent. Every day I remind myself, I don't need everyone to believe in me. I only need to keep believing in the person I am becoming. Maybe 1 year from now, I will still be single. Maybe I wouldn't. But one thing I know for sure, I don't want to spend another year waiting for life to happen. I wanted to build it bridge by bridge, hobby by hobby, day by day. And if someone join me along the way, that's a blessing. If not, I will still keep growing, because my happiness can no longer depend on someone else's presence. It has to come from the life I'm building. So today I ask myself one more question. What kind of man will I become after these 120 days? A man who give up, or a man who keep showing up even when nobody was watching? I already know my answer. This is day 9. This is my journey. This is my promise to myself. I'm 27 years old and I left my comfort to build a better future. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm healing. And for the next 120 days, you are going to watch me change my life. One decision, one hobby, one day at a time.